Cleverly proudly presents Choose Your Own Adventure, the Abominable Snowman. You are a mountain climber. 3 years ago, you spent your summer at a climbing school in the mountains of Colorado. Your instructors said that you have natural skills as a climber. You made rapid progress, and by the end of the summer, you were leading difficult rock and ice climbs. And that summer, you became close friends with a boy named Carlos. The two of you made a good climbing team. Last year, you and he were chosen to join an international team. The expedition made it to the top of the 2 unclimbed peaks in South America. One night on that expedition, the group was seated around the cook tent at the base camp. The expedition leader, Franz, told stories of climbing in the Himalayas as the highest mountains in the world. Those are the Himalayan mountains.
Yep, and the tallest one is called Mount
Everest.
Yep. So now flip to the next page.
The Himalayas form a great natural wall between India and China when Nepal tucked in amid the peaks. Everest, K2, and Annapurna are the best known mountains in the Himalayas. These are many other peaks that have been climbed. Still others lie in remote areas where few humans have gone. Said Franz, in the high values beneath the snowfields live the Yeti, sometimes called the Abominable Snowman. The Yeti is said to be a huge beast. Franz tells you perhaps a cross between a gorilla and a human. People cannot agree. What it is. Is the Yeti dangerous? Carlos asked. Franz shrugged. Some say it is. Other people say the Yeti is very gentle. Have you seen one? You inquired. No, almost no one has. The best proof of the Yeti's existence is a set of very large footprints discovered in the 1950s by a British expedition. No one has ever photographed one that I have heard. But still the stories persist.
You and Carlos decided then and there to find the Yeti. When you returned from South America, the two of you raised money from the International Foundation for Research into Strange Phenomena. Your goal: proof positive that Yetis exist. You will find and photograph the Yeti. That is what brings you to Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal. Your problems, though, have already begun. 2 days ago, Carlos left by helicopter to look over the terrain near Mount Everest. The helicopter returned without him. The pilot told you that Carlos decided to stay up at the Everest base camp to check out a report that a Yeti had been seen. He had a radio transmitter, but you have received no word from him. The weather turned bad, and radio communication was interrupted. You have an appointment to speak with R.N. Runal, the Director of Expeditions and Mountain Research, and an authority on the Yeti. He knows of your plans. You will need his help with official permits for the expedition. You will also have good advice and information. But what about Carlos? So, do you want to decide to cancel your meeting with Runal and search for Carlos? Or do you feel that Carlos is okay and you want to go ahead with your plan to meet Runal?
Feel that Carlos is okay.
Okay. So turn to page 8. You walk down a street bordered by tall pines. They are green-blue and the branches and needles are very fine and delicate. Hanging from the upper branches are what look like huge tear-shaped blackish-brown fruit. You stop and look up, wondering what they are. Then one moves, spreads giant wings and flaps off. They are
Bats!
the largest bats you have ever seen. You reach the foreign ministry and you are shown to a waiting room. You wait a few minutes and then are ushered in to meet R.N. Runal, Director of Expeditions and Mountain Research for the Nepalese government. Welcome to our country. We wish you success. But I have some bad news. The expedition you have proposed could be very dangerous. You look at him not knowing what to expect. Turn to page
10.
Recently, a large expedition set out without telling us they were going after the Yeti, says Runal. They used guns and traps and tried to kill one of them. The Yeti are angry. Mr. Runal, we just want to find a Yeti. We have no intention of hurting a Yeti. I know that. We have checked up on you. It is a shame about the others. I must advise against a trip into Yeti territory. I could arrange for you a trip into the Teria region, out of the mountains in the jungle area. You could photograph and study the tigers. They are famous and also dangerous. Later, perhaps, you could conduct the expedition you are leading. Do you want to go ahead with the expedition for the Yeti, even though it's dangerous? Or do you want to postpone the expedition to go on the Terai region?
Go ahead with the expedition.
Okay, we're going to find that Yeti. I appreciate your warning and kind offer to go to the Terai, you say. We are committed to this expedition. We will search for the Yeti with openness and friendship. R.N. Runal nods his head and quickly speaks to his assistant in Nepali. Within minutes, you have the necessary papers for the expedition, stamped in the proper places with the official seal of the Nepalese government. As you shake hands before leaving, he stops you. If you are determined to go on your expedition, it could be easier and safer if I come with you. What should you do? Having a government official along with you might just cause delays and bureaucratic snafus. On the other hand, he could smooth the way. Do you want company?
Yes.
Okay, so we accept Runal's offer to join us. Page 24. Now that he's a member of your expedition, Runal sends out a government team to set up your base camp and find Carlos. Success! Carlos is found and rejoins you. Runal turns out to be an excellent team member. 6 porters carry you your food and tents and supplies. This leaves you free to explore the steep valley sides and the small village along the way. The days are long, beginning at first light and going until after sunset. Your legs ache from the constant pounding as you walk across the narrow trails that have served these Nepalese people for hundreds of years. Above you are bright blue skies dotted with clouds. The snow and ice flanks of Lhotse, Pumori, and Everest rise above the green of the lower slopes. Turn to page
26.
As you approach a village, Runal points out a large building with a red roof which stands above the small neat houses clustered about it. That's the monastery, where there lives a monk, a Buddhist monk, who has lived with the Yeti. But I thought no one had really seen one. I thought no one alive had spent time with the Yeti. Runal answers a well-kept secret. Those who share the secret knowledge of the Yeti are pledged to reveal this knowledge to only appointed people. You and you alone are one of the appointed. It has been seen in the stars. It has been read in your hand. What do you mean? Who saw it in the stars? Who read it in my hand? Ronald does not answer for several minutes. Then he speaks. If you accept this secret knowledge, your life will change. You will never be the same. Decide now. Are you ready for the secret knowledge and the responsibility that goes with it? Or do you reject the offer of secret knowledge?
Ready. What?
Okay.
I mean 40.
So we're going to 40.
104? I mean 40.
Okay. We're going to 40. I gladly accept your offer. I am ready for the knowledge. Come with me. He leads you to the monastery. Carlos stays behind. You and Runal enter the monastery through a huge wooden door. It is dark inside, but you make out the figure of an old man seated on the floor. Behind him is a statue of Buddha. The man welcomes you and motions you to sit before him. You see he is wearing the robes of a monk. You are served yak butter tea, a thick broth that you find hard to swallow. Listen well with heart, head, and the body. Listen with eyes more than ears. Heed the cry of the Yeti, the old monk tells you. You can hear bells in the distance and wind in the pine trees outside. It is beautiful. You sit for what seems like hours listening with your whole being. Finally the monk speaks. Time now to go on the next journey. What journey, you ask? This is getting too weird. A continuation of the one you are already on. Do you agree to take the journey?
Agreed. 51.
Okay. Runal is still with you. He taps you on the shoulder and you rise and follow him to the back of the monastery behind the golden Buddha. The heavy smell of rose-scented incense fills the air. The Yetis are the guides to Shangri-La. They take the chosen people to this hidden valley, which many have heard of and only a few have seen. You nod, wondering what comes next. One last chance. Turn back now and accept a normal life with your friend Carlos. Or go ahead and accept the life of the secret world.
Go on.
Okay. I am ready, Runal. Lead the way. Runal taps 3 times on the back of the Buddha near the spot where its skull and neck join. It makes a clanging sound like cymbals being struck. Awesome! Before you stands a 7-foot being with broad shoulders and huge feet. His face is gentle and kind. You are not frightened. Runal introduces him. This is Zodiac. He is your special guide. Follow him. He will take you wherever you must go. Can I say goodbye to Carlos? It is not unusual. I do not advise it. It may upset him and you. However, if you wish, go ahead and say farewell. So do you go and bid farewell to Carlos, or do you keep going?
Farewell to Carlos.
Okay. You walk out of the room. The Yeti Zodiac accompanies you. Carlos stands outside as he was when you left him. He is frozen in time. He cannot hear you, nor you can hear him. You have become part of a different world. You start to realize some of the consequences of your decision to go to Shangri-La. You say a quiet goodbye to Carlos, even though he cannot hear you, and follow Zodiac back into the monastery. Zodiac motions for you to follow. He takes 1 giant step in the air. You look with amazement as he hovers a meter off the ground. Then you step up into the air, and you too are suspended above the floor of the monastery. You are levitating. Whoosh! The 2 of you zoom out of the monastery right through the walls up into the sky. You travel at unimaginable speeds. You climb a dizzying pace until the 2 of you stand on top of the sharp, icy crest of Mount Everest. Below you stretch glaciers, mountains, valleys. You see the world from the top. Zodiac points to a narrow slot near the topmost point of Mount Everest. He says that is the route to Shangri-La. He takes 3 steps, enters the slot, and disappears from sight. You take one last look at the earth about you. You see the clouds rolling up from the flat, dry plains of the Punjab in India. You see the curve of the earth. You see the contrail of an airplane far to the south. You step into the narrow chute. It's warm, glistens with the shine of a metal unknown to you. You hover in space in the narrow metal tube. In truth, you are moving at a great speed down through the center of Everest. There is a rose-colored glow all around you. Where is Zodiac? Some guide, you think, leaving me alone. What's next? 112. With a a gentle bump, you come to rest. In front of you is a clear glass door. You push it open. There stands Zodiac. Come. Welcome to Shangri-La. You walk out onto a dark green valley surrounded by low-lying hills. In the distance are high mountains. One of them looks like Everest. You hear music unlike music you have heard before. It's somewhat like the sounds in the monastery, the bells and the wind. The sunlight is warm and relaxing. Zodiac leads you down a long trail to a 7-story building. It seems to be a fortress, but it is painted white and red and gold. There are no soldiers, no guns, only people who smile and greet you as though you were an old friend. It seems so natural. You turn to Zodiac and you get a shock. His form has changed. Now he is the mirror image of you. What does this mean? Although you never find out about that, you learn many things as you stay in the valley. You have the chance to try many activities you could never try before, but only what is available in the valley. You learn to be contented within the limits of the small valley. Second thoughts? One last chance, is it? Is that what you want? Okay, you're on. Out of the valley of the Shangri-La and back to the real world. Is it different? Can you do whatever you want? Can you fulfill your dreams? Can you enjoy your life completely? Or must you be content within limits? The end. So that's the end of this path of the book. But if you make different choices, you can go to different places and different ends of the book.
I know.
Did you like that ending?
Yes.
You liked learning stuff in Shangri-La?
Yeah.
Sounds pretty cool.
I know.
Anything you want to tell Andrew's doers?
Subscribe, like, and share.
Thank you.